Lekganyane of the Zionist Christian Church for his prayers ahead of the ANC elective conference in December. Top officials who were elected at that gathering were part of today's meeting. Deputy President Mabuza and Chairperson Gwede Mantashe, who were in Parliament, were visibly absent.
This is an issue of legends.
Yes, legends are here.
Absolutely.
But at the center of this, an issue of restoring historical ties. After 10 years of rejecting meeting requests from ANC leadership, finally it's come to fruition.
This is the ANC reconnecting with its origins, reconnecting with the various institutions that formed and established the African National Congress.
While the church maintains that it remains apolitical, it's unclear why previous requests for a meeting were turned down. Whatever the reason for refusing to sit down with the previous ANC leadership, it would seem that the incumbents are enjoying favor from the congregants.
They were obviously praying for the 54th conference, and the outcome of the conference is something that they informed us that they are delighted with, that the conference went well. So we are here to thank them for their prayers, but we are also here to ask them to continue praying and giving the ANC their blessings as we now carry on with the mandate we were given, the mandate of improving our people's lives.
Ramaphosa says the meeting is part of ongoing pilgrimage to reconnect with the party's constituencies. It comes just 3 days after the ANC president and his deputy met with the ANC stalwarts to mend a broken relationship. Aldrin Simpier, SABC News, Limpopo.
Well, after 10 years of refusing to meet with leadership from the African National Congress, the Zionist Christian Church Bishop Barnabas Lekganyane has extended that invitation to the party's top six to attend a meeting in Moria in Limpopo today. Now, ANC Spokesperson Pule Mabe joins us now on the line from Polokwane. Good evening to you, and thank you for joining us. I mean, this is an indication that relationships with the church and the party are back to normal.
Well, I must state that this visit to the church is consistent with a process that the ANC began with coming out of the 54th National Conference, which we have rightfully contextualized as the revolutionary pilgrimage. This program included visiting various chiefs who had and numerous other tribal authorities who have been to KwaZulu-Natal, visiting grave sites of former leaders of the ANC, and visiting various other faith-based formations. So this effectively kickstart the visit to various other faith-based organizations, and you'll also be seeing us going to other formations. And we've been humbled because you will know that the ZCC Church is a very critical institution of faith, and that through this visit you would be able to get the necessary spiritual guidance, necessary wisdom for the leadership to be able to execute its mission of leading the people of South Africa, knowing that these faith-based formations are also behind the leadership, wishing it well. And we came again to ask for their prayers, because you will know that cementing unity amongst our people requires that we pull together all of the sections of society, whether it's the churches, it's the tribal authorities, it's various other stakeholders.
This may be, of course, the way forward as we see a new administration in charge, but it is a break with the recent past. As I said in my introduction, the church has refused for the last 10 years to meet with leadership from the African National Congress. So at least that's got to be some indication that there was unhappiness with what was going on, and perhaps a hope in what might unfold in the coming months and years ahead.
Well, what we could say is that we are humbled that the church has found it in itself to agree to this important meeting, because we're also paying homage as well to the leadership of the church and the role that they are playing in the South African society and all of that. And we hope that going forward we will do everything else that we could in our power to make sure that we consolidate on the relationship that we've begun to build. We'll be doing the same with many other faith-based formations that we'll be visiting.
Well, what do you say to the criticism that, of course, the ZCC is the largest religious formation in the country, that perhaps this is a little bit of PR and political opportunism by the governing party?
Well, the fact that we are also going to be visiting other formations, I can also make you aware that just last week, during the voter registration weekend, President Ramaphosa himself had visited 2 faith-based formations, one in Olifantsfontein and another one in Lodium. You are going to be seeing more of this coming up. They are part of a program that we've begun with. You'll also remember that earlier in the year, just towards our January 8 celebration, we're also in KwaZulu-Natal visiting Silo in KwaZulu-Natal. So this is part of the work that we're going to be doing.
Now, yesterday, your party unveiled
so just to emphasize that the visit to the church is not isolated. It's part of the many other visits that we've already been conducting.
Sure, I understand that. Yesterday, your party unveiled 2 new premiers-elect for Mpumalanga and the Free State. One of the suggestions has been, of course, that they are being protected from speaking to the media because they really have been handpicked to continue the legacies and the control of their predecessors in those provinces. What's your response to that?
I didn't hear the question quite well about the media.
I said yesterday you unveiled 2 new premiers-elect for the Free State and Mpumalanga. A number of people criticizing the appointments, saying they're going to be just proxies for their predecessors, which is one of the reasons, for example, you've not let them speak to the media directly. What's your response?
No. I don't think that that is factually correct. You would know that the ANC itself as an organization has got its own internal processes. And of course that even as you had announced them as premier elects, there are processes that still need to be undertaken. And as soon as all of those processes are concluded, I'm sure that they will be allowed at their own space and time to be able to engage with members of the media. But also I must emphasize that it is actually an undermine on their own capacity to say that they are proxies. These are women of stature who have led at various capacities. They are themselves currently leading as members of the Executive Council, both in Mpumalanga and in the Free State Province. For instance, the premier-elect for the Free State is currently the Deputy President of the ANC Women's League, has been a member of the National Working Committee of the ANC at its 53rd National Conference Collective, has also served in the NEC of the ANC previously. But also, even the premier-elect of Mpumalanga comes from the ranks of the youth movement, has played a significant role as a leader of the ANC in that province, as an REC member of Inhlanzeni region and all of that, and continues to do excellent work in government on behalf of the people of the province of Mpumalanga. So it is really unfair to want to cast doubts on them. I think that they must be given a chance, also because the ANC makes this kind of a recommendation in a month when we just celebrated International Women's Day. This shows how much this organization is committed to the agenda of women empowerment.
So in that commitment to women empowerment and transparency, will you commit to letting the SABC speak to them first when they are confirmed?
Well, I mean, you would know. I mean, you will know that we've always had an open door policy, because if they do not speak to the public broadcaster, how else or any other media, how else are they going to be able to articulate and advance the socio-economic transformation trajectory that they are supposed to be able to implement at the space where they are accorded the opportunity to lead? So there's no way that you can ignore the role that mass media plays to allow institutions of state to be able to disseminate their own program, make people understand what is it that government is doing. So there's going to be there is that kind of an open door policy. The only reason that was raised yesterday was, of course, to allow the movement to be able to conclude with its own processes.
All right, that was the ANC spokesperson Pule Mabe. There you heard it from the horse's mouth. The two premiers-elect will first speak to South Africa in their new roles right here on the SABC. Stay with us. There's more after this break.